Greetings to all of our viewers. You are now watching Reba Broadcasting Network. Once again, greetings to all of our viewers. You are now watching the Reba Banks Show on Reba Broadcasting Network. Please like, share, and tag this video. All right, so I'm joined with an extraordinary, phenomenal guest. This man right here, he has the sauce that talks. Yes, one taste of his sauce and you cannot put the food down. I want you to go ahead and help me welcome to the show today, Jerrell Watson. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, so I'm really excited to talk about this sauce right here, Edith's Best. But before we get into that, I would love for the viewers to know about the man behind the brand, right? So if you could please introduce yourself to the viewers.
Hello, viewers. My name is Jerrell Watson, and I'm originally from South Carolina, Paxville, small town in South Carolina. And short journey, went to Norfolk State University in Norfolk, Virginia, and came here for a job in 1995 for Disney. And I've been here ever since. I'm married, have 2 kids, and I'm also a local real estate agent, and I have this great business now that I started in 2015 called Edith's Best.
So before Edith's Best, talk a little bit about your professional career, because you had a lot of professional success as well.
Correct. As I stated earlier, I was recruited here by Disney in 1995, right out of college, and I was there for 11 years, so had a management level role as well as some collective bargaining experience while I was there. And then I took on a director of HR position for another organization, and after that I had a consulting firm.
Yeah, you understand.
A consulting firm, and had that for a couple of years, you know, utilizing that experience in HR and management to help other organizations as well. It was called Invictus Human Capital Management, and I stepped away from there in '09, and I, started full-time in real estate, even though I'd been in the business for a lot longer than that, but not full-time. And I started my business of Edith's Best right after that.
Wow. Yeah. So now, tell us a little interesting fact about you, because you played sports.
Yeah, I did. Growing up in South Carolina, I was heavily into baseball. That was my thing. And I actually, that's all I thought about going to college. So I definitely played college baseball, and had those dreams of going to the to the pros, of course, but life took a change, and I decided to exercise my plan B, which was finding a really good job, getting that degree and getting a nice job. So that's what happened, and I'm here, and I'm not in any way regretful at all.
So you grew up in South Carolina, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So is that where this cooking, like charisma, knowing how to put the flavors together?
That's what we do in the South. We love good food, and food is the staple, is the backbone of a lot of things. If you were happy, you ate. If you were sad, you ate.
Right.
If you felt bad, whatever. That's what brought folks together is food. And so I was able to throw a little bit of that into the sauce.
So from owning a consulting firm, and now kind of transitioning into what would seem like a total different industry, right? Because you were more in the business, HR side of it, and now you're like in the food and you're cooking. And so how did Edith's Best, what was the birthing process? How did that come about?
Well, it was I'd always had a thirst to be an entrepreneur anyway. But sometimes we focus on these big, gigantic ideas that really and truly aren't necessarily the ones that are for you. And it was just a subtle thing. I used to make the sauce, at family events, or just in, around the house from time to time. And I would actually even give it away, because it really wasn't that, I was very cavalier about it, I should say. And so in 2015, after being urged by, from my wife to my mother and some friends to say, hey, you really have something good there. You might have something that you may want to consider, taking a little further. And so I did, and believe it or not, I give credit, obviously no credit to me. This is all God's vision for me. it happened so seamlessly, you know. And to your point, you know, being in other industries, you know, I had really no food experience other than what I did at home or whatever, and the fact that I love good food. And that's how I knew that this was good, because this wasn't my vision, this was his, and it actually just steamrolled after that. It was, you know, just happened so fast. And usually, in my opinion, or through others, what I've heard is that that's how you know you're operating in your passion and in your vision. Yeah.
Definitely. And let me tell you, viewers, anybody that's watching, I had Jerrell sauce, Edith Best, and it is so good. Like literally, there was no leftovers. I mean, the food was so awesome. The sauce was just phenomenal. I'm telling you, you will literally want to eat every little piece off of that plate when that sauce is on there, all right?
That's what I love to hear.
Yes, very good, very good. So now, you know, you talk about the birthing process. I know your grandmother kind of helped you, kind of, you know, deposited some of the...
Yeah, she deposited a lot in me. She and I were best friends, basically. And, you know, one of the things that I took from her is that, one, I wanted to name the sauce after her because of what she instilled in me.
Right.
You know, I'm sure that there's some similarities in what, you know, in what she used to make, but, you know, this is something that I put together, and I'm sure that there's some similarities, but that wasn't something that she and I actually discussed. But what she did instill in me is doing everything at the best, at the best of your abilities as possible. Put your all into everything that you do. And so whatever I've done, whether it's been sports or my professional career, and now even this, I want to make sure that I present the best possible product that represents not only myself, but represents, you know, my family and you know, how I feel about what I put out there for others. Yeah.
So tell us the play though on the name, because there's a little play here.
Yeah. So people often ask me, okay, well, who's this? You're not Edith. Who is it? Well, I named it obviously after my grandmother, but the play on it that no one has ever asked me, you know, how I came about Edith's Best. Well, of course, every grandchild thinks that they're the favorite, and I'm going to go on the record to say I was a favorite. You know, I say that tongue in cheek, and you know, we talk about that, but you know, I'm just proud of who I became because of her. And so Edith's Best is really just a play on saying, hey, I was a favorite, and also to everything. My all is into this, and I take, you know, pride in, you know, everything from the label to way it's presented, the whole 9 yards.
So did you have any like mentorships or any mentors in this?
Yeah, I currently have a mentor now that's worked in the industry, and this was all of this product as it stands is what my initial vision was. You know, I do have a mentor now that's really helping me with the industry, that's giving me more tips, that's going to really take the sauce to the next level. And they given me some great tips. You know, one little quick note is that what you see right now, which is what I've always wanted it to be, Edith's Best is the parent company, and so the sauce will have its own identity, whole 9 yards. So look for that. That's coming real soon here.
Right.
So some great changes, but the presentation and the taste remains the same. It's just some label, some packaging changes.
So how easy was it to come with these ingredients, to blend everything together?
You know,
this is it.
Well, you know, the thing is that, you know, where I'm from, we cook through feel. And so what happens is that, you know, you put something together and say, hey, this tastes good, you know, and in a lot of ways it's kind of even difficult to duplicate, right? So it just really was something very simple. You know, it was based on, hey, you know, what would I want on my food? You know, because again, you try to cook your food that you wouldn't even need it, but if you do find an enhancement, you want to make sure that it's going to enhance it, not take over the food or in any way overpower what you're eating. Yeah.
So, you know, starting on, well, you know, you've been in the business arena, you're a businessman, you've been in the professional industry. How easy was it for you to venture off into this type of a business and say, okay, I believe in this, this is what I'm going to do, I know it's going to be successful? Yeah,
what I will say is that it's not as well. Those that are entrepreneurs, whether it be what I'm doing or, you know, from what you're doing or anyone else, they will all tell you that, you know what, it's great to have a vision, but you also have to prepare yourself as much as possible, and that means every day. You never stop learning. You know, it takes drive, it takes focus, but when you're operating in your space or within your passion, it's not work. You know, to some it may look like work because you do work really, really hard, but it doesn't feel that way. And so it requires preparation, it requires learning, it requires resources, you know, not only just from just understanding your craft, you know, the ins and outs of it. You know, it requires a lot, and you know, there's always going to be those obstacles that are going to come. You just have to then say, well, hey, listen, you know what, I'm smart enough to find the resource that will help me get where I can't take it, you know,
right.
so.
Did you have anyone telling you like, no, this wouldn't work out, or you shouldn't do, you know, the sauce?
Well, maybe not necessarily no, but just more of why, or, you know, are you sure, you know, just those doubters. And I don't even think they mean it, you know, they're just cautious. And, you know, entrepreneurship is something that's not for the faint of heart. It's really not. And so someone who's not an entrepreneur, it's very difficult for them to truly grasp the nature of what you're doing if they're not in that space themselves. So, you know, you hear these phrases like, oh, I was told once, you know, people can't understand a vision that was not given to them. So,
right.
yeah.
So what kind of, you know, advice could you give someone maybe that's in this space of wanting to start a business, but they're scared because maybe they don't have the support, and maybe they feel like, okay, well, what I'm doing, is it really going to work?
I would tell them, first and foremost, pray. That's the first thing. Two, understand that, you know, if you don't do it for yourself, no one else is going to do it for you.
No.
You know, if you don't do it for yourself, someone will hire you to fulfill their vision. And so, one, be prepared, learn as much as you possibly can about what you do, but at the end of the day, if you don't ever try, you will never find out whether or not you'll succeed. So you really have to step out there on faith and just do it. And don't look back, you know, no regrets.
I love what you said about being prepared.
Correct.
You know, you always want to prepare, you know, it's best to be prepared early than to be not prepared at all.
Correct. In some respects, yes. Like, so for me, you know, I take all the experience from being a kid, you know, I take my sports background and understanding about not giving up. You know, from an educational perspective, I have an undergraduate degree in business, I have an MBA, but I also take from all the different professional career, you know, the careers I've had, whether it be at Disney, understanding branding, you know, understanding how to, you know, to find resources, because you know what, you can't do it alone, you know, and that's difficult in and of itself, because, you know, we tend to try to go about our business on our own. And if there's anything that I try to make sure that I'm better at, if I might say, is letting go a little bit and understanding that, you know what, just, you know, hope that the right people and information will come in your path, and then let it go from there.
I love what you said, all of the different experiences that you've had throughout life.
Correct.
Weave together to create where you are right now.
Correct.
And I think that's so beautiful, and it's so true. You know, you look over your life and you start to see every experience.
Correct.
It all works together for your good.
It does.
That's what the word says.
It definitely does.
Yes.
It definitely does.
Yes.
And you know, and the thing is that sometimes we say, well, I should have done this a long time ago. Well, you know what? You weren't ready a long time ago.
Seasons.
You know, you have to operate within your season.
Awesome. So wow. So before we continue on, we want to take a live commercial break right now, and this is what I call the Trevo commercial break, brought to you by Drink to Live, and we are going to have Jerrell taste this product and tell the viewers what you think.
You know, I've had the pleasure of having this, and this is
really, you've had it too, so this is good.
This is really good. This is really good. Yep. Very good for the body. I mean, you. Great dietary supplement.
Yes.
And it tastes really good.
Yes, you heard it from Jerrell. Now he's the sauce man. He has a sauce that talks, so he knows what tastes good, okay?
That's exactly right.
So if you want to increase your energy, boost your immune system, have mental clarity, manage your weight if you're suffering from diabetes, type 1, type 2, high cholesterol, or you just want to live in overall vibrant health, Drink to Trevo is a vegetarian product. So, and it's made from all the fruits and garden vegetables, so there's no meat, no poultry in it, and it's sweetened by the superfruits and the garden fruits that's inside of it. And so there's no processed sugars, and it's just overall good, vibrant health, a good source of health for the body, well-being. I believe that God wants our bodies to prosper even as our soul prospers. Right. So if you're interested in learning more, you can visit www.drink2live.org. That's www.drink2live.org. And also, if you're interested in becoming a life and health coach, you can also visit the same website as well, drink2live.org. And there's all the information you need. You can reach out to me at Reba Banks on Facebook, or you can reach out to me from the website, and I will be in touch with you. All right, so let's go ahead and get right back into this show and talk some more about this sauce and the man behind the brand. All right. So now with Edith's Best, how do you market the product?
I market the product on social media, you know, and also I'm out one-on-one with my customers. So not only on social media, I do various tastings at the various venues that carry the sauce, and then I also am in the Winter Garden Farmers Market on the weekends, because it gives me an opportunity to meet and greet with the end users. You know, it's very rare that you ever get a chance to talk to the person that actually makes a product that you might support and that you might like. So typically that's how I do it, and of course word of mouth. You know?
Yeah, I think that's real important, because some people may have the gift, you know, but they don't know how to market that gift, that product that they have inside of them. Now, you're not just, you know, I know you do one-on-ones, you do the farmers market, but you're also in stores too. Yes, I'm in Chamberlain. In restaurants.
Yeah, I'm in Chamberlain's. I'm in Chamberlain stores here locally. I'm in various specialty stores around town, because they're very open to local vendors and things of that sort. We're going to eventually expand into larger stores, which is where the packaging idea and the changes that we're making that's going to come. So definitely look for that. And we're also we're looking to get into more restaurants. I was blessed to be able to get into one of the restaurants in where I'm from, back in South Carolina.
Nice.
So and we're looking for more. So if there are any chefs out there that are interested, please, let's talk. This is a great product, and I know your customers will love it.
Wow, so that's what I love. That's like one of those hometown hero stories, you know, where the guy comes from a small town, he makes it big, and now he has his sauce back home in the restaurant.
That's what we're hoping. That's what we're hoping
so
for.
Awesome. So awesome.
Definitely.
So what was the process like? Was it easy getting in these specialty stores and restaurants?
No, it just required understanding and knowing that you have something that's good, and you have something to offer. I'm solving every product that's out there, even with the product that you talked about earlier, your product here is that you're solving a problem. And so for me, Edith's Best is a quality product that alleviates the need to buy so many different condiments, and it's in terms of health-wise, it's a lot healthier than your typical condiments. So instead of buying an array of them, why not just one real quality product? It's gluten-free, no high fructose corn syrups. And so talking to the business owners about the advantages of having a sauce like this, it helps, and you just have to get out there every single day. You'll get a ton of no's, but that one yes, it helps you build and build your confidence for the next one.
So did you face any challenges at all, maybe getting the sauce off the ground, or?
Well, like anything, understanding the resources and how to get it done. I have a company that mass produces it for me, because I understood the challenges, and again, knowing your product and knowing your industry, you have to make sure that you're adhering to the necessary guidelines for food consumption, and what your regulatory bodies are. So understanding the business a little bit more, finding those resources, and then just, you know, you're in you know, you have other folks that are doing the same thing, and so you have to understand how you differentiate yourself from others. You know, so definitely not easy, but you know what, very fulfilling.
Yeah, and really puts that professional twist onto your brand, you know, so it's not just, okay, I'm just selling this here, but this is a professional product.
That's exactly right.
You know, so it deserves to be among the other professional products.
Correct.
You know, the name brands, you know. So that's what I love. Well, now, what can you say to the viewers, you know, anybody that's watching that wants to, you know, maybe get into this type of an industry, or just someone who just needs a bit of motivation? What could you say to kind of motivate someone to keep going?
Well, one of the things I do is that I talk to anyone who, I try to carve out time for anyone that wants to ask me questions or what have you. I'm willing to share whatever information that I've learned, you know, pass it on, because you know, it's not a one-man show. It really isn't, you know, and I'm not the only person out there. And so it's one of the things I will say is, if there's some things I've encountered, is it's tough to find folks that will share information. And so that's one thing. Two, dedicate yourself to it. It's very difficult not to put 100% into something and expect for it to be, you know, to be successful. Three, again, you know, understand and be, you know, hold to your faith. Whatever that faith, hold true to it, because, you know, there are going to be times where you're going to question why you're doing what you're doing. And two, again, prepare yourself, you know, from an educational perspective, to understand everything about your business, and love what you're doing, and just stick to it. Don't give up.
All right, so I got a question for you. What's the secret to the sauce?
You know, I tell you, you know, it's all in the taste. So that's about as much as I can tell you. But, you know, the key is, though, I'm glad you asked, because that means you like it.
Yes, it's awesome.
And you'll like it too.
So how can the people that are watching the audience, how can they get in touch with you, you know, purchase your sauce? Yes. Where can they go? Yes,
to purchase the sauce, please, you can go to my website, edithsbest.com, EDITHSBEST.com, and you can see all the different places that's currently being sold. I'm sold on Amazon.com under Edith's Best. You can also visit local stores here, the Ancient Olive in Winter Park, the District at Mills 50, Orlando Meats, and all Chamberlain's locations. But if you ever wonder, as we expand, please just visit the website, visit us on Facebook or Instagram or even LinkedIn.
All at Edith's Best, right?
All at edithsbest.com or Edith's Best.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you, Jerrell, for coming on to the show.
Yes.
And sharing about the sauce that talks. It is truly delicious.
Thank you.
I wish you nothing but much success. So thank you again.
I appreciate you, and thank you for having me. I love what you're doing with the show, and keep doing what you're doing, because I love the fact that you're using your platform to help others.
Yes, to promote light. That's what we do. Awesome. Thank you for tuning in to the Reba Banks Show. Thank you to all of our viewers. We want you to please go ahead and support the network. We're asking for all of your support. If you're enjoying the programs that you've been watching, all of the different shows, if it's really been blessing your heart, please go ahead and support us by going to the link that is above. You can go to the link that you see up top. You can click there and make a donation to this network, so that we can keep bringing you more great content and keep doing the work of the Lord. Once again, thank you to all of our viewers. Please support us. We love you, and until next time.